Twinkle, twinkle, little star, I wonder what you are.
From here I can see very far. Even the Red Cross Children's Hospital, where children are saved and babies are saved. Baby Michael is a dying baby. I can't describe it differently, but he's a fighter. And I think about the poem of Rudyard Kipling. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve you long after they are gone, and so hold on when there's nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. Baby Michael, a little life born like a candle in the wind.
Stukje koffie?
Ja, alsjeblieft.
Oké. Hoe laat gaan ze maar gaan aflos?
Ons gaan 6 uur gaan en dan gaan ons om bad.
Oké, so hoe laat?
8 uur.
8 uur?
Ja.
Oké, 8 uur vanavond?
Nee, 8 uur morgenochtend.
Ja, oké. So wat is koffie krijg ik dan?
Je krijgt die dagskof.
Die dagskof?
Ja.
Oké.
Sometimes I feel my life is powered by an unknown entity, taking me where I should be, taking me to Facebook this time. It was a Christmas baby for 2 young people in love, a complicated love affair.
Christo en Talita. Maar dis 'n baie mooi naam daai. Ek wil vir jou 'n bietjie vra, julle het mekaar in George ontmoet, né? Nee? Is dit nie so nie? 4 jaar gelede. En die oomblik toe julle mekaar ontmoet het, was julle totaal verlief op mekaar.
Ja.
Waar was dit? By watter plek?
En George.
O, en toe nooi haar pa vir jou.
Ons vang baie vis. Ek was op daai stadium in Limpopo geweest.
Ja.
Ek het 'n gastehuis daar so bestuur en toen besluit ik om op te skop in George te gaan.
Ja.
Achter die aan.
Ja.
En ja, de rest is geschiedenis.
So by the way, wat het jou verlief gemaak op my?
Weer aardig weer.
Ja.
Ons het net geklik. Ik meen, die oomblik dat ik je gezien heb, toen weet ik wie je is en ik weet wat jij is en ik het verliefd geraakt ook. Ja? Ja. En toen maak je mond op. So, hoe kom je verliefd geraakt op mij?
Wel, toe ons net ontmoet het, wou jy my nie 'n drukkie gegee het. So ek moes mooi gevra het vir 'n drukkie. En, ja.
Okay.
Jy was snaaks geweest, jy het altyd grappe gemaak met my en ek kon net nie gehelp het nie.
Mooi. Oké. Nee, dat is goed om te weten.
Toe raak jy verwagtend, né?
Ek het dit vermoed. So toe vat ons maar toetsie en ja, dit is
3
positief.
En toe gaan vertel die eerste vir hom, né?
Her mother, Gerda Creer, was disappointed that her only daughter was pregnant. In fact, she was not on speaking terms with her daughter when she gave birth to baby Michael, born 4th December 2018.
ma was kwaad geweest. Nie gelukkig geweest nie, want ek is op universiteit en ons het ek wou eers klaar gemaak het voor ons 'n familie begin en maar ja. Sy was redelijk kwaad geweest, maar sy het vinnig dit aanvaar en ja.
Kyk, Talita is 'n enigste kind. En ek is ouer as sy, ek is baie ouer. Ek is 37 en sy is 22, word 22. En 'n ma is beskermend, soos wat enige ma beskermend is vir hulle kinders. Mense sien 'n groot gaping in ouderdom as 'n negatief baie keer. Ek dink toe hulle besef dat ek is nie net daar om advantage te vat nie, verstaan mense dit? Ja, dat ek regtig lief is vir Talita, dat ek die res van my lewe met haar wil spandeer en 'n familie wil begin. Toe dink ek die water het onder deur die brug en dis vergewe en vergete en ons gaan aan. Ons is 'n familie en ons groei nog elke dag nader aan mekaar.
I'm actually here today for baby Michael, you know.
Yes,
What is the problem there?
he has a condition, congenital heart defect,
Yeah.
where there is called AVSD, meaning atrioventricular septal defect. So the septum, the heart has got 4 chambers.
Yes.
All the chambers are separated by septa. So there's a deficiency in the septum in the middle, just in the middle of the heart, where everything is open. It's like an open top. It's open. So the blood is just mixing. Blood goes from left side to the right side. So what it does, it overfills the lungs. And then there's too much congestion in the lungs and too much circulation in the lungs. And sometimes you can't breathe nicely. Sometimes you get recurrent chest infections, or sometimes you can get heart failure if it's not treated. And the only definitive treatment is surgery. All right, but when the child is bigger enough to tolerate surgery.
Ek dink ek gaan seker oor so 2 jaar die lotto wen.
Ja, okay.
Dan wil ek 'n boot bou. Ek het groot drome om eendag my eie blouwater katamaran te bou. En dan wil ek vir Talita en vir Michael die wêreld gaan wys. En om leer oor die natuur en konservasie en hoe om mens te wees. Ek wil net, ek weet nie, ek wil 'n happy barbecue. Ja.
Happy barbecue, ja.
Ek meen daar's dae wat ons net nie meer wil nie of kan nie of moeg is, tot in jou siel en moeg is vir alles wat verkeerd gaan. Maar ek meen dan gaan speel jy met die mannetjie en hy lag en hy smile vir jou en is. Maar ja, dan soos dit sê, stel all is forgiven. As hy heeldag huil en ongemaklik is en seer het en hy smile daai een keer vir jou, dan vergeet jy van al die negatief en al die angs en dan is jy weer happy, dan sien jy weer kans van nog 'n dag.
Smile jy vir my. Michael.
Wanneer, toe jy uitgevind het, jou kind het AVSD, hoe het jy gevoel daaroor?
Dit was Pillay,
Ja.
Dr. Pillay in Uitenhaag. Hy het actually vir ons 'n scan van dit gedoen. En gesien dat daar is iets nie heeltemal reg met sy hartjie nie. Hy is die eerste dokter wat gediagnoseer het dat hy vermoed dis AVSD. En hy het ons toe verwys na Dora. Ja, dat is niet baie lekker om te hoor nie. Ek meen, daar's klaar soveel worries en goed op jou wat jy aan dink om je kind aan die lewe te hou en groot te kry en dan vind jy uit daar's nog 'n ekstra stap of 'n ekstra hekkie wat hy oor moet spring.
Right, okay, all right, sure, thanks. So admission rate was 2.8.
Okay.
And the rate now is 3.1.
Yeah, so he was born in December, that means he's almost 3 months old now. And it's got low birth weight, so technically the surgery is quite difficult to do a full repair of this defect in such a small baby, which is normally in our unit we wait until they are a bit bigger. And the problem at the moment is that he's not feeding well and not gaining weight.
Tell me, what is the next step from here onward?
We want to have all that information and give it to the surgeon and tell him, look, we don't have the care.
Yeah, that is another problem at the moment, that our cardiac catheterization laboratory, where because normally we do that before a patient goes for surgery for workup, so that we can give the surgeon all the information necessary. And we've had a problem since last year with that. It's just a problem for us in that we do a lot of catheter-based procedures, diagnostic and interventional. We were doing about 200 a year, so for, say, babies with holes in the heart that we could close in the cath lab without them having to go for open heart surgery. At the moment, we can't offer that service. So it's a lot of patients to expect another service to take over and to help with. So therefore, we need to look at ways to resolve the issue.
It's quite something, and so not having that cath lab each day that goes by.
How long is it now that you don't have that?
Yeah, I think since towards the end of last year, I think November, December, that's when it was declared irreparable.
May I ask you, this equipment that we are talking about and that is jeopardizing all these activities here, how much is it?
15 and 20 million rand.
That's all?
That's all, yeah, that's all. That's what it will cost to put a new unit. And that's what is really required, because without that, we can't diagnose and we can't offer the intervention. There's a lot of patients that have coronary heart disease, for instance, that do not have insurance, but I mean, no one can assist them anyhow because the service isn't there. And for me, that's not acceptable, I'm afraid.
So we lose a lot of patients?
We lose a lot of patients. You take the 15% that has got medical insurance, how many patients go through St. George's Hospital, Greenacres Hospital, and they get their stents inserted? And then the 85% of the population gets nothing at this point in time. Then it is acceptable that they must just die. One of the big challenges in general is the availability of congenital heart surgeons. They are a rare find. I don't think we have more than 10 of them trained across the country. I don't think the government has prioritized congenital heart surgery to where we want the government to do that. There are many other competing priorities with healthcare in general.
How bad is this AVSD?
In Cape Town, Susan Vosloo will tell you the most challenging open heart surgery in children is actually an AVSD repair, because it's very difficult to repair all the valves in the heart in that big hole.
Going back to the old site is we're going into this ward. It should be inside the ward, I think. It should be in there, I'm sure.
Dat ek sien, ek het so lank gewag om vir jou te sien. Hallo.
This pipe is used for feeding.
Is that for feeding? Yeah. Explain to me now that.
We call it a nasogastric tube. So it's when you're feeding difficulties. I'm not sure if it was vomiting, she couldn't take in, or there's something with, sometimes babies have obstruction. They can have reflux, they can have a lot of other stuff. So they put a pipe, a nasogastric tube in to help with the feeding.
So this is the oma?
Ja.
Young oma? Oma, yeah.
Hey Michael. Hey. Gaan we jou vandag? Ja. Gaan we jou vandag? So, né?
In Cape Town, I consulted Professor Liesel Zulke. We met outside Grooteskier.
Tell me, I want to ask you, Professor, what can I do to help baby Michael at the Dora Nginza Hospital in PE? Is there anything that I can do? What would you advise me to get that baby transferred to the Red Cross Hospital?
It's more difficult when the patient has to still come to us because, you have to not only time the transfer, you have to also time the surgery. And transfer is a very vulnerable period for a child who's been very sick. So I think the most important thing really, if I was working in PE, giving advice to the doctors in PE, is to try and get him as stable as possible. We sometimes have to transfer patients on a ventilator, and this may be the most appropriate thing for you to do, so to come from one ICU to the other, rather than for waiting for him to be well enough to go to the ward. So I would imagine the sooner the better, but you cannot take a risk that something can happen during the transfer because he probably has to fly to us. So we just have to make that very careful timing. I think if there is something you can do, the most important thing you can do is raise awareness of the issues around congenital heart disease in this country.
How are the team of doctors and PE planning to get baby Michael to the Red Cross Children's Hospital for surgery? We are elated when we get the news baby Michael will be flown to Cape Town on an emergency flight. Then the devastating news. Stormy weather forced the flight back to PE. Baby Michael is now back at the Gora Ngenza Hospital.